At the moment of this recording, the Houston Rockets have not won a game in 19 games. As a Rockets fan, it has been a sad and dark time, and I've got to admit, I have not been happy about it. So today, we are going to be rebuilding the Houston Rockets. Before we do get too far in the video though, be sure to go down there and subscribe. I know a large percentage of the viewers on the channel are not subscribed to the channel, so please, if you haven't, go down there, press that red button. It's completely free and you can unsubscribe whenever you'd like. Also, if you'd like, follow me on Twitter and all that. There's links down in the description below. Helps us out a whole bunch. But let's get into it, shall we? Alright, lads! Here we go with today's video. Hopefully you guys all have a fantastic day. Today, we are rebuilding the Houston Rockets because, well, they're in a bit of a rough patch and let's get them out of it, shall we? So, straight away, this is not a realistic rebuild. I'll try and keep it realistic, I suppose, in my opinion. If you guys disagree, let me know down in the comments below. But basically, Christian Wood's going to be staying. John Wall, we're probably going to have to keep on the team for a little bit. We'll see what trades do come up. I do think that Houston should move on for him. Oladipo, we're going to be trading him straight away. Eric Gordon, we're going to be keeping. Jayshawn Tate, he's going to be a power forward of the future for us. David Nwaba, I think he is only on a one-year deal, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep him or not. I'm not too sure about him yet. Kevin Porter Jr., absolute unit. We're going to keep him on the squad. Sterling Brown, gone. Daniel House, gone. Ben McLemore, gone. DJ Augustine, gone. But yeah, we're really just going to blow up this entire team. Try and, develop a couple of younger guys like Kenyon Martin Jr. See if he'd like to progress for us. DJ Wilson's on 1 year left. I don't really want to bring him back. And besides from that, there's really no one else here that I want to send down to the G League. For the first, we want to try and be competitive this first season, don't we? We do want to be competitive. So Victor Oladipo and Eric Gordon. If we can get rid of these two players for some young, very, very good center, power forward maybe. If I could, honestly, if this trade gets me a nice young point guard that we could build around, then I could trade John Wall. Nothing comes up here. What if I chuck in, say, this Detroit Pistons lottery pick? Because Colin Sexton, that's not bad, Colin Sexton is not a bad deal at all. Point guards, young point guard. What if the Rockets were to go after someone like a Lonzo Ball? I think that could be extremely handy for the team. And then if we chuck in, say, Eric Gordon, $3 million over, give us, say, JJ Redick, and I'll give you David Nwaba. Leaves us a little too thin at point guard. So I would prefer to have a point guard back. I'll give you DJ Augustine. Not interested. Jayshawn Tate for Nickel O'Malley. I want to keep Jayshawn Tate, so I'll give you that lottery-protected Pistons first. There we go. We've got ourselves Lonzo Ball on the team now, which is going to be handy. So we've got John Wall now that we don't need because we do have Lonzo. I want to start Lonzo. I'm going to probably keep him for this entire video. John Wall. Do we need a small forward? I think we probably should go after a small forward because I don't want Sterling Brown to be our starting small forward. So John Wall, could you get us a small forward that we could start, please? Nothing. Really? I mean, we could get Harrison Barnes, but he doesn't really fit the timeline of this team. Okay, hear me out. What if the Rockets were to, say, go after a DeMar DeRozan type player? Hear me out. Because DeMar DeRozan is only on an expiring deal, if we do this, get DeMar onto our team, and then try and save up as much cap as we can to try and get Kawhi in free agency. I think that's probably one of the better options. I'll give up that top 10 protected Bucks first round pick, and same with this swap best Nets. We've got ourselves DeMar. He can be our starting small forward. We also got Patty Mills to come off the bench. So we're going to run this team. I don't know if it's going to do good for this first season. We've got Lonzo, Eric Bledsoe, DeMar DeRozan, Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood as a starting five. We then have Patty Mills, JJ Redick, Kevin Porter Jr. and Sterling Brown off the bench with Dante Exum. I do want to start Kevin Porter Jr. over Eric Bledsoe just because I prefer that anyway. That means JJ Redick probably won't be getting as many minutes, but that's okay. And then we actually don't have a big off the bench, but I don't really care this season. I really don't care. If we go something a bit like that and try and get these young guys to get some minutes so that they can play really, really well. So I'll only play DeRozan 33 a night and then try and get the rest of these young guys to develop for us. And then the first scoring option is going to still be DeMar, Christian Wood, and Lonzo, I suppose. Yeah, we'll go Lonzo as our third scoring option. Do you have any 4-star systems? We'll stick to a 7 seconds, and the Houston Rockets are the projected 16th seed. So let's see what happens for this first season. Not sure if it's going to go well. We don't have our first round pick, so if we do go bad, we don't have a first as backup. Well, we do actually end up with an all-star. We got ourselves DeMar DeRozan. That's pretty cool. So at the end of that first season, it wasn't the best, but it could have been a lot worse. We went 34-48. LeBron James wins MVP. John Wall actually does win 6-man on the Spurs, so good on him. And Christian Wood most improved with 21-14. That's what I like to see. Do we get any All-NBA teams? I don't expect us to. And we didn't. Perfect. We don't make the playoffs, like I said, didn't expect us to. But we've got a good development season in there. Lonzo dropped 15, 3, and 5.8, which is decent, which is what I kind of wanted him to do. Kevin Porter Jr., 11, 3, and a 2.6. And that's really about it. Jason Tate dropped 7, 5, and all that, so that's pretty decent. Offensively, we're the 4th worst offense, and defensively, we're the 6th worst defense. So we just need to improve on everything, but that's okay. We weren't expecting to be good this year. The Lakers do win the chip, and LeBron wins Finals MVP. So yeah, we don't have our first round pick. We'll see where it would have landed us if we did have it. So Houston, the Nets have it with 2.5% chance of moving up. And I think it's the 11th pick. We would have had the 11th pick, so that's all right. It's good that we kind of held on to it. I'm good with our entire front office. Yeah, I'm very okay with our front office. Jason Tate, you're coming back on the team, my guy. Justin Patton, no, yes. Yeah, sure. If Sterling Brown wants to come back, you can come back, my guy. Could we please re-sign, get Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi wants to go back to the Clippers. That sucks. But I would also like to re-sign Lonzo if possible, please. I would like Lonzo back, and that's really about it, to be honest with you. And then just in case, I'll sign Drew Holiday, and then if I do get Drew, I'll trade him away. Okay, because we didn't get Kawhi, did we? We did not get Kawhi Leonard. That sucks. That does suck. Yeah, Kawhi went back to the Clippers. Fair enough. Lonzo, Drew, you're still on the squad. DeRozan, we no longer have bird rights on, but we can afford him. So what we could even do is just sign and trade DeRozan before he regresses as well. Sounds like a plan, boys. Sounds like a plan. So Drew Holiday and DeMar DeRozan. What can you two get us? I see Devin Booker, although I would prefer a small forward, such as Brandon Ingram. Could we maybe trade DeMar DeRozan for Aaron Gordon and Markelle Fultz? That would be kind of cool. Excessive amount at the small forward position. Right. So that means we need to get another small... So instead of, say, Markelle Fultz, what about Jonathan Isaac? How about just Jonathan Isaac and Markelle Fultz? And then I'll chuck in Drew Holiday. 23 million. Then give me Aaron Gordon and Cole Anthony. We also get Chuma Okeke. Okay, I'm doing this trade. We're getting the entire young core of the Orlando Magic, but it's worth it. It's worth it, all right? It's so worth it. We've now got ourselves a very, very young team because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. We're good. Do we have much cap space? We do, but we are going to be saving it for next season. So next season, we're going to have 67 million in cap space. Plus, we also we need to get rid of Eric Bledsoe's contract, by the way, because that thing does have a team option at the end of it. But if we can get rid of it now for, say, a first-round pick or something like that, even Precious Achua, I will take that 100% of the time. And then salary cap table, we have 67 million next season. I'm not going to re-sign Aaron Gordon next year. Lonzo, I want back. Cole Anthony, I might bring back. Chuma, I might bring back. There's a lot of young players here that I might bring back. But we should be fine. We should be able to go after someone big next season like KD. We do have 2 training camps though. So if we go big man defense to our boy Christian Wood, and then if we go perimeter defense to our boy... Let's go big man offense to our guy Jonathan Isaac. How about that? All right, how about that? So our rotation for this second season is going to be Lonzo, Kevin Porter Jr., Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, and Christian Wood as our starting 5. We then have Precious Achua, Markelle Fultz, Jason Tate, Cole Anthony, and Chuma Okeke off the bench, which means we need to put Kenyon Martin Jr. down the G League again this season. Only reason being is because he's not in the rotation, he's not going to develop for us. That's literally the only reason. If we move Chuma Okeke to the small forward, he can be our backup 3, and that should be fine for our bench. We got 2 point guards off the bench. I might actually move Cole to the shooting guard. I moved Cole to the shooting guard, and that gives us a complete bench for our team. Our first scoring option is I'm going to move Christian Wood to the first scoring option. I think that should be good. And then we'll have Aaron Gordon, Kevin Porter, Alonzo Ball. That sounds good to me. We've got a 4-star, 7-second system, and the Rockets are the projected 7th seed. This is a very young team. Very young team. We'll see what goes on. We win 44 games this season. I don't know if that's playoff bound or not, because 2K is extremely inaccurate with that. But LeBron James wins MVP like he does. You know, John Wall still wins another 6th Man of the Year award, which is cool. Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year, good on you. Do we get any All-NBA teams? I don't think so, considering we didn't have any All-Stars. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, we didn't make playoffs, even though we had a positive record with 44 wins. If we're in the East, we would have been the 5th seed. If we're in the East, we would have been the 5th seed, but we're in the West, and we didn't make playoffs. Christian Wood put up 21.2, 10 points, and an assist a game, which is what I wanted him to do. Aaron Gordon dropped 15, Lonzo dropped 13, Precious dropped 13, and then Markel Fultz dropped 13 as well. Very all-round scoring, nothing too crazy. Offensively, we're the Houston Rockets. We were the 17th best offense. Our defense was better, with 13th best defense, and our differential was 15th in the league. I can't believe we didn't make playoffs this year. Sixers are the champs. Embiid wins finals MVP. So who's here? We can try and get ourselves Kevin Durant. We do have $170 million in cap, because we could actually give ourselves more if we moved on from, say, Jonathan Isaac. Say we moved on from Jonathan Isaac for Tyler Hero, who's a backup shooting guard or something like that. Could we then afford to get ourselves Kevin Durant to come to Houston? Yeah. We can. That works. That's perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. All I wanted was Kevin Durant. Lonzo Ball, I would like you back. Aaron Gordon, no. But Lonzo Ball, I would like Lonzo back if possible, please. Lonzo, we do have bird rights on you, so hopefully that doesn't bite into our Kevin Durant money. It does. Of course it does. We need to free up just over $3 million. Yeah, that's easy. This guy's got to go. I just realized who's on the team. Yeah, no, you got to go, mate. Could you maybe... Yeah, that's some cap space off of our hands. And then also, could you get rid of Dean Wade's contract? Because that thing's dumb. We get a 1st-round pick for it. And yeah, we should be okay to actually get ourselves KD this time. I'm actually going to give him a no-trade clause as well, because I really want him. Well, that didn't work out. Bradley Beal, you maybe want to come to the Rockets? Trae Young, what about you? You're going to get matched, aren't you? We get Trae, but he gets matched. KD went to the Nets and Beal went to the Wizards. All right. Jaren Jackson, it looks like, is an unrestricted free agent, so Jaren Jackson Jr. is now on our team. And then we could also sign Aaron Gordon. I suppose we got to do that. Bring back Aaron Gordon. That's upsetting that we couldn't get ourselves damn KD or Bradley Beal. Like, KD was a bloke. All right, Jaren Jackson with Aaron Gordon. Let's see what comes up, man. Not a lot, but we could get ourselves Klay Thompson, I suppose. Klay's okay. Get Klay and then trade for... I see Zach LaVine. There's worse players than Zach, I suppose. If we get DeAndre Ayton... Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to think about it. We're going to do that. And then we can move Christian Wood to the power forward. So we've got power forward, center. 2 training camps, like usual. We're going to go big man... We're going to go big man defense to DeAndre Ayton, and then we're going to go untapped potential to Christian Wood. And then we're going to try and sort this team out to try and win a championship for this final season. Could we maybe pull in Michael Porter Jr. then? They like what they have. I'll give you a 1st-round pick that's worth 2.5 stars, and that Brooklyn pick. There we go. Michael Porter Jr. is our starting small forward, which gives us... You know what? I might actually just play that team there. Then we have Precious, Markel, Kevin Porter Jr., Thaddeus Young off the bench. That means we could probably use Cole Anthony and Tyler Hero to maybe get ourselves a better backup too. Who's our starting point guard? Lonzo. So if we get Book, we have to give up Lonzo. I don't want to give up Lonzo. Okay. Thinking about it. We've thought about it. We're going to get ourselves Clint Capella. He's making $18 million a season. Okay, we're going to get ourselves Clint. Now we can move on from Clint and get ourselves James Ennis for an even bigger contract. Come on, give us one of them big ones, such as that contract there. We've also got ourselves Emmanuel Quickly, who could be a backup too. Thank you, perfect. Will Richardson, could you get me an even bigger contract? Because like a Jamal Murray, that's perfect, mate. That's honestly perfect. Because I really want Devin Booker, to be honest with you. If I can get D Book, it's a wrap. it is honestly a wrap if I can get Book. Yup, there we go. Game over. GG. We got Devin Booker in our squad now. Alright, cool. We got Lonzo, Book, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Wood, and DeAndre Ayton as a starting 5. We then have Precious Achiuwa, Markelle Fultz, Kevin Porter Jr., and Emmanuel Quickly off the bench. We have Tom Thibodeau as our head coach. Sure. We're going to go Christian Wood, Devin Booker, Michael Porter Jr. as our scoring options. We are not running a defensive system. I can tell you that right now. We'll run a 7-second system, and the Houston Rockets are projected to be the 8th seed. So let's see what happens this year. We're 41-10, right? And we don't have an all-star. Interesting. So we finished the season 62-60. Joel Embiid wins MVP. Precious Achiuwa, 6th man. That's cool. Tom Thibodeau, Coach of the Year as well. So do we get any Houston Rockets All-NBA teams? Please. It makes sense, right? Nope, but we do finish as a 1 seed in the Western Conference. Kind of funny, right? We were the 1 seed, yet we didn't have an All-Star or an All-NBA player. Sounds cool. Christian Wood dropped 21.1, 10 and 1, and then Book dropped 22 and 6, and then Michael Porter Jr. dropped 19, 5 and 1, and then Ayton dropped 16 and 12, 14 and 10 for Precious. Precious is actually crazy good in this game, by the way. Offensively, we were the best team. Our defense... Could our defense get a little bit better? 12, not bad. And our differential was the best in the NBA. So this is our first playoff series of this entire video. And we get eliminated in the first round considering we're up 3-1. Thank you. Woo. I'm not upset. God damn, I love 2K. Thank you. Who did we lose to? We lost to Donovan Mitchell, Dennis Schroeder. Okay. Dennis Schroeder apparently tore us apart. Sick. I'm not fuming. You're fuming. You're fuming. Shit. How did we lose? How did we lose? How did we lose? Like, I was just gassing up our team and we lost. I don't know how we managed to do that. How did we manage that? Anyway, guys, hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. It does mean a lot when you guys do that. Made it all the way here. Be sure to comment 2K sucks. Helps us a bunch. Lets me know that you've watched the entire video all the way through. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I want to say. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Links down in the description below. But that's really about it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Have a good rest of the day. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.